This is it, the moment we've all been waiting for. The collaboration, the biggest collaboration between film photography's biggest influencer and Polar Pro, the world's leading manufacturer for overpriced photography accessories. Now we have the culmination of this extremely wide-reaching and well-resourced partnership. Let me introduce you to the Polar Pro FilmVault. And reading from Polar Pro's website, this is what they had to say about their new partnership with Peter McKinnon and the FilmVault. Let's take a look. In 2023, McKinnon went on a film journey and shot countless rolls in various mediums on various setups, but was lacking a proper canister to house his hard-earned medium. Meet the FilmVault, a modern, minimalistic method of storing, protecting, and transporting your 35mm and 120 medium format rolls in development for over a year because Pete was so adamant that the film shouldn't rattle around in the vault even when shaken. So whether you're sending a quick day trip or a longer photo mission, the premium lightweight aluminum and O-ring gasket seal will keep your goods clear of dust, dirt, water, and whatever else may challenge it. And I'm not going to comment on the time period that this FilmVault was in development for over a year. I can think of something else that happened almost a year ago that maybe would have made them hesitate to release. But we won't get bogged down in the details. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure it took them every bit of a year to develop a canister to hold film with no moving parts. And even better, guys, this product is limited to just 500 units, although we're not exactly clear what they mean by 500, although I'm not sure they really mean 500 units because there's actually 4 varieties: a 35mm 2-roll holder, a 35mm 5-roll holder, 122 roll, 125 roll. But again, we won't get bogged down in the details. And even better is the pricing. For the low price of just $49.99, a holder, an actual holder for your film can be yours. You know, slipping out of my fake salesperson character for just a second. It's obviously a terrible value. Everyone and their mother makes one of these. They range in cost from $10 for like a plastic one, $25 for like a metal one from Kodak. They've been making these things for years. If you want to get one even cheaper, you can hop on eBay and get one for a couple bucks. Film holders have been out there for a really long time, but they don't have a facsimile of Peter McKinnon's name etched on them. Important to know. Polar Pro actually claims in the advertising material that this is a minimalist solution. They say, a modern minimalistic method to house your hard-earned film captures. The FilmVault offers ultimate protection against elements for 35mm and 120 medium format rolls. Dude, I don't know what they think minimalist means. This is maximalist. It is the exact opposite of what minimalist means. Minimalist is sliding those rolls of film into your backpack pocket. Or you can also use my tried and true method, which I'll point out for the record is also waterproof: sandwich bags, right? You can put your film rolls in sandwich bags. Waterproof, look at that. And even better, you can get like 50 of them for $3. But they're not gold. One thing that wasn't mentioned in the advertising material, which I thought was a little weird, because it's called the FilmVault, is whether the FilmVault actually protects your film from X-rays, right? Any of us film photographers who've had to travel through airports, especially with high-speed film, have had the concern that the X-rays are going to damage our precious, expensive film stocks. And science tells us that aluminum is actually an effective barrier to X-rays. The thing was called the FilmVault, and I thought maybe this would be an actual useful function, right? You could start to understand some of the value proposition. You could travel with your film, and this holder may protect your film from X-rays. Kind of cool, but they make no mention of X-ray protection. And that tells me a couple things. Product isn't effective or hasn't been tested whether it's X-ray protective or not, or nobody involved in the project had shot enough film to even be aware of that problem, both of which are troubling. But it's metal, it's gold, it's got Peter's signature on it. You'll be like Peter McKinnon. What we have here is a novelty product that's overly engineered and adds unnecessary weight to your pack. Solves a problem which isn't really a problem. Slip a couple rolls in your pants pocket, slip a couple rolls in your backpack pocket, you're good to go. And if you're worried about the rain or moisture, we got sandwich bags. It's all good. So I think I would be remiss to talk about this product without speaking about my video from last year. Last year, I dropped my Peter McKinnon diss track, which was mostly in jest, but highlighting some of the problems with big major photography influencers coming to film photography and the problems that I thought that may bring about. I didn't know exactly what would happen, but at the time it felt a little bit like a grift. Raising prices, bad information, drowning out smaller voices, all those things. You can watch the video if you're interested. And maybe some of that's been true. It's hard to quantify. But one prediction that I made very clearly was that there would be new products with Peter McKinnon branding and all that kind of stuff announced for the market. And I thought after making my video, maybe we'd seen the last of it. Maybe it was much to do about nothing. Maybe I just overreacted. But the main point of the video was this, that Peter McKinnon's dalliance with film photography felt kind of exploitative. It felt fake. Relatively speaking, while his channel was struggling, he would dabble with film photography to try to capitalize on some of the resurgence of film photography, which was booming at the time, and still is. But there was one very clear prediction that I made in the video, and it was that there would be co-branded influencer products from Peter McKinnon related to film photography. And so now we're getting to the part of the video where I'm gonna tell you why this even sucks to begin with. It's just another product, right? Another product from another company. What's the big deal? Well, it isn't that big of a deal, but in a world where there aren't that many companies out there making film photography products, it would be really cool to have a company out there like Polar Pro, who is exceptionally well resourced, making the products that we actually need. Film photography needs new film stocks. We need new cameras. And you have two major powers in the industry, right? You have Peter McKinnon, multiple times over millionaire, and he certainly deserves every dollar he's worth. The same for Polar Pro. They are a cool company that makes, like I said, largely overpriced gear, but they do make some good stuff. I've used a lot of their filters before, their neutral density filters for my cameras and drones. But if you wanted to start with a product for film photography, why didn't you start with something we actually need? And film photographers, we have to ultimately vote with our wallets. There are companies out there whose whole existence depends on film photography. Kodak, Mint, Lomography, those kinds of folks. They're out there creating the products that we need, the products that we love. They're continually researching, pouring money into the hobby, and they're giving us all the new products that we look forward to. When Polar Pro and Peter McKinnon come to the hobby and give us a $50 film holder, it sucks because they're two folks who could actually make a difference. Instead of giving us something we actually need and something that would actually support and further the hobby, it's frustrating. Now, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe this is the first product of many. Maybe this is the beginning of their new series of film photography products, and maybe they've got a new 400 speed film that's gonna look exceptional on the horizon. And I know there are gonna be folks in the comments saying, man, it's really hard, it's really expensive to develop film. Well, that's probably true, but there's more than one way to skin a cat, if you'll allow me an Eastern Kentucky colloquialism. Lomography, for example, we've got Lomochrome Purple, we've got Lomochrome Turquoise, we've got all these different film stocks that they have developed. Well, they're not developing those. They're not producing those. They're giving that formulation to another company, one of the existing manufacturers, and creating these new products. Given the resources of the two relative entities in this video, they could have also done something like that. They've got the resources, but the development of a product like that, a new camera or a new film stock, would require two things. Effort, number one, they would actually have to work on that. It would take some time to develop, make the connections, that type of thing, and then risk. And at least at this point, it appears that neither of which are willing to assume that risk. Polar Pro and Peter McKinnon are free to do whatever they like. They can make whatever they like, they can sell it for whatever price they want to sell it for. That's cool. But as film photographers, we should vote with our wallet. And how about we give our money to the companies that are actually advancing our hobby? The ones that actually give a damn about keeping film photography alive. But if you like this video about me yelling at the kids to get off my lawn, take a look at this previous video. I think it's important for context. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.